What is up, you guys? Rolled out of bed, feeling really depressed this morning. Wanted to speak my mind. As we all know, we have this massive fire happening in LA. I am not from LA, but I moved to LA when I was 11 from Brazil. I had my teenage years in LA. I have a lot of friends, my immediate family there, and they all have been affected by this fire. It is really sad. It is sad to see people of all statuses, classes, backgrounds, and walks of life having to deal with what we're seeing now. And it goes down to people working paycheck to paycheck, to celebrities, to millionaires, and everyone's losing their past. And no matter what, dude, I don't want to get into this argument, but nobody deserves to go through that. Nobody deserves to have their lives ripped away like that. Have to start over and see somewhere that it's not just your money, you know, it's your memory, where you've seen kids grow up. It's some people's first accomplishment, somewhere that's their sanctuary. Like, it's so shitty to, I'm getting emotional. I can't cry while I'm doing my fucking makeup. And I don't want to compare this to anything. Everything is just so individually shitty. But the feeling that I'm feeling is that we're seeing over and over and over again, seeing so many destructions and things being taken away from people. And like, it's really disheartening to keep seeing these things happening around the world where people are just unjustly losing their lives. It's like you're constantly being reminded of like how much power you don't have, and like how much you're just sitting at home. And if you're blessed enough to not be directly affected by these things, how much you're feels dystopian to have to keep going through your lives and have to go to work and pay your bills, and you're just like, what's next? Like, what? Like, when are we just gonna hear some good news? There is so much anger in the world right now. We see this with the way people are reacting and talking to each other in the midst of all of this happening. You see people on TikTok are looking at this fire who are very blessed to not be affected by the fire. To see how celebrities and people that have money be affected, and they're cheering. And I know why they're doing that. The last video that I made that was about my advice on taking down the 1%, it kind of touches on this topic a little bit, right? How what we see going on right now in the world, how we're seeing what the government really is about, the wealth, how it has always run America. And I mean globally, people just like us as human beings, not having the right to be human beings with dignity. Fight of eat the rich, I am so for. But when we're talking about eat the rich, we're talking about the 1%. And the corporations that are keeping the world in a very dark place, you know, greed and operate from that kind of place. And that's the ones that we're fighting. And the people that have jumped on this bandwagon, that are painting that phrase, are the ones that are using the term eat the rich to mask their joy and seeing anybody that is just in any way, shape, or form doing better than them in life. Anyone that has more money than them, anyone that owns a home, doesn't seem to be worried about living paycheck to paycheck. That eat the rich, that's not who we're talking about. And so seeing these people justify the fires that are happening in LA and celebrate it is just a disgusting thing to see, because it just goes to show how much people are hurting. There was a tweet going around by James Wood, who is like a really proud Zionist, who put out a tweet talking about Palestinians and going, no ceasefire, no this and that, kill them all. His house burned down, and he was in an interview talking about it's really disheartening, like one day you're swimming in a pool and the next day it's all gone, and he's crying. People were like, oh, you deserve this, and like celebrating that for him and saying like, this is what the kids in Palestine are going through, like now you get it. And like, I get it. I get the hypocrisy. I get the I hope you understand now. I get the I hope you now learn to have compassion. That is not a reason to celebrate the hundreds and thousands of people that are genuinely being hurt. I think this, for everybody, not just for James Wood, is a lesson of compassion. Not needing to be so tit for tat. Be like, oh, you deserve this, and now you know what it's like to be poor, and now you know the da-da-da-da-da-da. Operating from a place of hate and using this opportunity to push an agenda of theirs that is tainting the actual fight that people are trying to fight. And the only positive in this whole thing and everything that is happening, not just the fires, despite the difference in classes, despite our differences, it's beautiful when you see people come together to help a community and to remember that in all of the chaos, we still have common grounds with each other, and it's family, community, memories, a life, a home, things that we worked for. Not every rich person out there is a bad person. People that are or celebrating this or just like losing the plot. I'm seeing so many people that religious, like people that have commented on my things and being like, this is God saying this is what you get for what you did to Palestine, and this is God purging LA. Whatever your belief is, this thing that you're trying to preach, if you think that people are going to hear this and feel like they want to support a God that operates from a place of hate, revenge, like, you are out of your mind. And also, this is just not a time for you to be saying this type of shit. You're cut from the same cloth as the people that you're trying to point your fingers at. The fake activism. I'm not even doing my makeup, dude. I honestly, like, I couldn't get out of bed this morning because I was just laying there and I'm like, it's so hard to want to keep going about your life and keep doing things when it feels like the world's falling apart. Evil is just winning all the time. Something happens and we all come together and we're fighting, everything goes back to normal. And then something else happened and then we come together and we're talking about how this shouldn't be the way it is and everything goes back to normal. We're so enslaved to this like go, go, go and having to pay the bills and make life happen that it's so easy to just brush things under the rug. And like, it gets to a point when you're just like, I know I'm strong. Today I don't feel strong. And the reason I'm making this video is not for sympathy. It's just like, I know many of us are feeling this way. It's to relate to somebody. Like, what are we doing all this for? I could feel deep down in my soul, not to try to flip it to something to give like fake hope, but genuinely speaking, from what I know in my soul, there is a purpose to why everything is happening. And there is a purpose to why so much is coming up and so much is happening. I truly, deep down, feel that there is good in the end that's going to come out of all of this. Everything is being exposed. All the greed in the world, it's all becoming so undeniable. How much corruption is from top to bottom. I think it's good that we're feeling this way. I think it's good that we're starting to feel this like hopelessness. We're becoming fed up by complying, of just accepting things the way that they are, questioning everything. The loudest people are the ones that are the most insecure, are the ones that are hurting the most, that want to feel seen and heard. But something that we don't see as often is how many of us do care for each other and how many of us do want to make a difference for the better and how many of us do have faith and love for humanity, if we've ever met or not, that when it's needed, we can put our differences aside and come together and show each other love and support like it always should be. You see the way other countries are coming in to help. South Africa, Mexico, Canada. And it's just kind of yapping, but I love you guys. I hope you guys are well, and I will see you next time.